Imagine you're standing in an empty football stadium. In the center, a single drop of water falls onto the field. A second later, 2 drops. The next second, 4. Then 8, 16, 32. For the first few minutes, you barely notice. It's just a small, damp patch. But soon, that patch becomes a puddle, then a pool, and with terrifying speed, the entire stadium is submerged. This isn't a story about water. It's a story about the growth of artificial intelligence. For millennia, human cognition has been the undisputed champion of this planet. Our evolution was a slow, painstaking climb. From the first spark of consciousness to the development of language, art, and science, our progress has been a generational marathon. We built empires, we charted the stars, we split the atom, all powered by the 3-pound universe inside our skulls. But an eye doesn't walk. It leaps. It doesn't follow a linear path. It grows exponentially. The AI that was a novelty yesterday, barely able to beat a chess grandmaster, is today designing drug molecules that could cure diseases, composing symphonies, and managing global logistics with a complexity that no human team could ever hope to match. This isn't the slow biological evolution we know. This is silicon and code, fueled by an endless river of data, improving at a rate that is both exhilarating and deeply unsettling. The class we're talking about isn't a sci-fi fantasy of chrome robots marching down Main Street. It's far more subtle and intimate. It's happening in our workplaces, in our hospitals, in our schools, and inside the devices we hold in our hands every day. The next 10 years are not just a chapter in this story. They are the entire plot twist. This decade will force us to ask a fundamental question. Is AI a tool that will amplify our greatest potential, freeing us to become more creative, more strategic, and more human? Or is it a competitor that will challenge our long-held intellectual dominance, forcing us to redefine our own place in the world? The race is on, and its outcome won't just change how we work or live. It could very well redefine what it means to be intelligent in the first place. Let's get practical for a moment. Picture 2 master strategists facing off. In one corner, we have the AI titan of computation. It can analyze every stock market transaction on Earth in a nanosecond, spotting trends and anomalies that are invisible to the human eye. It can scan 1 million medical images, identifying a cancerous growth with a precision that surpasses even the most experienced radiologists. Its strength is raw, unadulterated processing power. It operates on a scale and at a speed that is simply superhuman. It is the Goliath of data, armed with the brute force of 1 trillion calculations per second. In the other corner, we have the human mind. Let's imagine a seasoned judge presiding over a difficult case. She has all the facts, the data, the legal precedents, the same information an eye could process. But her decision isn't just a calculation. It's a tapestry woven from logic, yes, but also from a lifetime of experience, an intuitive understanding of human nature, a sense of fairness, and a deep-seated moral compass. She can read the subtle hesitation in a witness's voice, feel the weight of her decision on a family's future, and apply a concept they can't grasp: wisdom. This is the core of the battle: efficiency versus richness. AI is the ultimate efficiency engine. It finds the shortest path, the optimal solution, the most probable outcome. But human thought has a different quality. It has cognitive depth. We don't just solve for X. We ask why X matters. We blend code, hard logic with warm, fuzzy intuition. A CEO might look at a spreadsheet telling her a merger is a guaranteed win, but a gut feeling, a sense that the corporate cultures will clash, might lead her to walk away. That gut feeling isn't magic. It's a form of high-speed, subconscious pattern recognition built over decades of human interaction, a skill that current AI, for all its power, cannot replicate. AI can tell you what. It can tell you how. But it cannot yet tell you why in a way that resonates with purpose or meaning. It lacks the consciousness, the self-awareness that gives human thought its color, its texture, its soul. As these systems become more sophisticated, the ultimate question isn't whether they can get smarter in terms of processing. The real question is whether that raw computational power can ever truly rival, let alone replace, the profound nuance and beautifully imperfect depth of human cognition. For centuries, creativity was our sacred ground, the one domain we believed was untouchably human. A masterpiece painting isn't just a collection of brushstrokes. It's the artist's heartbreak or joy made visible. A symphony isn't just a sequence of notes. It's a journey of human emotion. A novel isn't just words on a page. It's a portal into another consciousness. This ingenuity, born from a volatile cocktail of curiosity, emotion, and life experience, has always been our defining spark. And now, the machine is knocking at the studio door. AI tools like Midjourney and DALL-E can now generate breathtaking images from a simple text prompt. AI composers like Aiva create classical and cinematic scores that are, to the untrained ear, indistinguishable from those of a human composer. AI can write poetry, design logos, and even generate scripts. The output is often complex, technically proficient, and aesthetically pleasing. But here is the crucial distinction. AI creates through mimicry, not intent. It has analyzed millions of paintings, songs, and stories. It understands the statistical relationships between pixels, notes, and words. It can reassemble these patterns in novel ways, creating something that appears new. But it lacks the why. In an AI painting of a storm doesn't come from a memory of being caught in the rain or a feeling of inner turmoil. It comes from a dataset of storm paintings. It's a brilliant echo, not an original voice. It has no personal stake, no story to tell, no life to pour onto the canvas. It's all precision, no soul. However, this doesn't have to be a conflict. The future isn't necessarily about human artists versus machine artists. The most exciting frontier is a fusion of the two. Imagine a musician experiencing writer's block. She could ask an AI to generate a dozen unique chord progressions in a style she'd never considered. The AI provides a raw, unexpected material. Then, she, with her human experience, weaves a melody over it, writes lyrics about a love she lost, and performs it with a passion that I could never feel. Who is the author in this scenario? The answer is both. This is collaborative creativity, a new era where human inspiration guides the precision of the machine. It challenges our old ideas of authorship and genius, but it also opens up incredible possibilities. Our role might shift from being the sole creator to being the curator, the director, the emotional core, the artistic process. The human spark may no longer be the only fire, but it will always be the one that gives the art its warmth and its meaning. Let's move from the art studio to the hospital room, the courtroom, the halls of power, places where decisions carry immense human weight. Here we encounter the most significant gap between us and our creations, the chasm of emotion and ethics. Humans wield a powerful, often subconscious tool called emotional intelligence. It's the ability to read a colleague's face and know they're having a bad day. It's the empathy a doctor feels when delivering a difficult diagnosis, which shapes not just what she says, but how she says it. It's the ethical reasoning a leader uses to navigate a crisis, balancing the needs of a company with the well-being of its employees. These are not logical calculations. They are deeply human acts guided by compassion, morality, and a shared understanding of what it means to suffer, to hope, and to care. AI, in its current form, is a moral and emotional vacuum. It can be programmed to simulate empathy. A chatbot can be trained on millions of conversations to say, "I understand that must be difficult for you." It can even analyze vocal tone and facial expressions to detect sadness or anger. But it's a performance. The AI doesn't feel your pain. It recognizes the data patterns associated with it. It doesn't reflect on the morality of a decision. It follows a set of pre-programmed ethical rules written by humans. This gap is not just a philosophical curiosity. It has life or death implications. Consider a self-driving car facing an unavoidable accident. Does it swerve to hit one person to save its 5 passengers? Or does it protect the pedestrian at all costs? An AI can only follow its programming. A human driver in that split second makes a chaotic, instinctual, and deeply moral choice. There's no right answer, but the human process of making that choice is fundamentally different. This is why, for the foreseeable future, humans must remain the pilot in the loop. In medicine, an eye can diagnose a disease with incredible accuracy, but a human doctor must deliver that news with compassion and help the patient navigate their options. In our justice system, an AI can analyze case law, but a human judge and jury must weigh the evidence with a sense of mercy and contextual understanding. Over the next decade, our most critical role will be to serve as the ethical and emotional compass for these powerful new tools, ensuring that their cold, hard logic is always guided by the... Think about how a child learns to ride a bicycle. There's no data set. There's no instruction manual that can truly capture the experience. The child gets on, feels the wobble, pushes the pedals, and falls. They scrape their knee. They feel the sting of failure and the encouragement of a parent. They try again, their brain and body making thousands of tiny intuitive adjustments to balance, speed, and steering. It's a holistic, messy, and adaptive process. Once they learn, they can ride on grass, on a bumpy road, or even try a unicycle. They've learned the principle of balance, not just the procedure of riding one specific bike on one specific street. Now, consider how an AI learns. It doesn't fall. It doesn't feel. It absorbs knowledge by analyzing colossal datasets. To learn to ride a bike, an AI might process 1 million hours of video footage of people riding bikes. It learns the statistical probabilities of every muscle movement, every turn of the handlebars. It can achieve a perfect, optimized performance with unmatched speed. But here's the catch. Its learning is often brittle. The AI that has mastered riding a bike on pavement might be completely lost if you ask it to ride on a sandy beach. It learned a specific context, and its knowledge struggles to transfer flexibly to a new, unseen domain. This is the difference between data-driven learning and adaptive, biological learning. We humans learn with purpose and curiosity. A child doesn't just learn to stack blocks. She learns about gravity, structure, and the joy of creation. Our learning is interwoven with emotion, experience, and a broader cultural understanding of the world. AI's learning, by contrast, is bound by its programming and the data it's fed. It learns what we tell it to learn for the purpose we define. While future advancements in AI will surely narrow this gap, introducing more flexible and transferable learning models, our human edge may lie in this very messiness. Our ability to learn from a single experience, to apply intuition in novel situations, and to draw on a rich tapestry of cultural and emotional context will remain a uniquely powerful form of intelligence. In a world that is constantly changing, the most valuable learning isn't just about absorbing information. It's about adapting, improvising, and understanding skills that are, for now, born of biology, not bits. Let's talk about your job. For generations, the value of a worker was tied to their specific knowledge and skills. You were a writer, an accountant, a factory worker, a graphic designer. But AI is not just another tool like the steam engine or the computer. It's a force that is fundamentally reshaping the very landscape of work. It's automating routine tasks, yes, but it's also making its way into fields we once thought were safe: creative arts, strategic analysis, and intellectual problem solving. The immediate reaction is often fear of mass job displacement, of being made obsolete. And that anxiety is real. Some roles will undoubtedly shrink or disappear. But to see this as just a story of job loss is to miss the bigger picture. This isn't an apocalypse. It's a great reshuffling. The next decade will not belong to the human who tries to compete with AI in its own terms in speed, memory, and calculation. That is a losing battle. The future belongs to the worker who learns to dance with AI. It will favor those who can blend uniquely human skills with AI proficiency, forging powerful hybrid roles. Think of it this way: the invention of the calculator didn't put mathematicians out of business. It freed them from tedious arithmetic, allowing them to focus on higher-level theoretical problems. Similarly, AI won't replace the best doctors. It will empower them. An AI can scan the research, but the doctor can use that information to devise a creative, personalized treatment plan and communicate it with empathy. An AI won't replace the best market strategist. It will give her an analytical co-pilot, allowing her to test 100 scenarios in the time it used to take to test one, freeing her up to focus on the big picture vision and leadership. The new currency in the job market will be skills like critical thinking, emotional intelligence, complex problem solving, and creative collaboration. Can you ask the right questions of an AI? Can you interpret its output, spot its biases, and add the crucial layer of human context? Can you lead a team where some members are human and others are AI systems? Those who resist, who cling to the old ways of doing things, will face a period of profound uncertainty. But those who adapt, who see AI not as a threat but as the most powerful tool ever created, will not just survive. They will prosper. This is a call to action for every one of us, to become lifelong learners, to cultivate our most human skills, and to step into the future not as victims of change, but as architects of a new hybrid workforce. We've talked about specialized AI that is brilliant at one thing, be it playing Go, driving a car, or composing music. But there is a final frontier, a concept that hovers on the horizon of science fiction and cutting-edge research. It is the pursuit of artificial general intelligence, or AGI. AGI is the holy grail. It's not just a smarter tool. It's the theoretical creation of a machine with the versatile, adaptive, general-purpose intelligence of a human being. An AGI wouldn't just master one task. It could master any task. It could learn to be a physicist in the morning, a poet in the afternoon, and a master chef by evening. It could theorize, invent, and reason across disciplines with a speed and depth that could potentially solve humanity's greatest challenges, from climate change to disease to interstellar travel. The debate rages in the scientific community. Is the arrival of AGI a decade away, a century away, or an impossible dream? But if or when it arrives, the implications are staggering. Achieving AGI wouldn't just be another technological milestone. It would be the single most significant event in human history. It would mark the first time we are no longer the most intelligent beings on the planet. This could usher in an unprecedented era of discovery and prosperity. But it also raises profound, even terrifying questions. What becomes of humanity's role and purpose in a world where we are intellectually second best? How do we ensure that a superintelligence, whose thought process we may not even be able to comprehend, has goals that are aligned with our own well-being? This is the ultimate genie in the bottle scenario. Once an intelligence far greater than our own is created, can we ever hope to control it? The pursuit of AGI shifts the entire balance of the race. It's no longer about amplifying human potential, but about potentially creating our successor. Navigating this new era, if it comes to pass, will require more than just technical skill. It will demand unprecedented global cooperation, profound philosophical reflection, and the establishment of ethical guardrails on a scale we've never imagined. The shadow of AGI looms over this entire conversation, reminding us that the stakes are not just about our jobs or our economy, but about the very future of our species. So, as we stand at this incredible crossroads, looking at the road ahead, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, perhaps a little afraid. But fear is not a strategy. Understanding is. As we close our journey today, let's distill this epic story into a few core lessons we can carry with us, not as passive viewers, but as active participants in this new era. I want to leave you with a couple of questions to reflect on. What is one skill you possess that you believe will always be uniquely human, no matter how advanced technology becomes? And how are you, in your own life, already starting to dance with AI? Share your thoughts in the comments below. This is a conversation we all need to have. And if this exploration sparked something in you today, if it made you think or feel or question, please consider subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications. We have many more journeys like this to take together. Thank you for being here.